Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. In this video, I will be discussing about loops statement. First, we will be discussing why do we need to use loop, and specifically, we know that we have two types of loop: while loop and do while loop. And in this video, I will be discussing specifically about while loop. What is the why is it required to use loops, and then how can we use while loop? So the first is let's go to get into it. For example, if we have code line of code, for example, if you're saying hello everyone, see if there is a person telling if I want to run this one, it will just print me hello everyone. If a person is asking you to print me this one 10 times, for example, print me 10 times hello everyone, or print me 5 times, then what you will do, the simplest work that you can do is copy pasting. So for example, you will just copy paste it 5 times. It's okay. If a person is asking the same thing 10 times, so the same thing you will do it 10 times. But if a person is asking you, for example, to print me this one for 1 million times, so surely if you doing copy pasting, the first thing, it will take a lot of time, and the second thing, it will be a long code. It will be a lot of lines of code that you are going to write. So for this one in programming, we have a basic solution, which is nothing but loop. What does loop tell us? Loop is saying that if you want to repeat one statement for multiple times, for example, just write hello everyone, write it once and tell to the computer to print it multiple times. Do not copy paste by yourself. So how can we do it? How this is if we are writing one line of code and we want to tell to the computer to print it multiple times, then this is loop statement. So now let's go. How can we do it? We can do it using while loop. So while loop in Python is responsible for doing this one. That if we write one statement and we tell to the computer to repeat it multiple times. Now is how do we use while loop? How can we use this one? How can we use this feature? While loop has three important steps. The first one is initialization. So where our loop will start. The second one is condition, where our loop will get end. So this is our starting point, and this is our ending point, and then we have updation. How shall our loop will get updated? For example, if I want to print from 1 to 10, from 1 to 10. So what is my initialization part? Initialization that my number should get started with 1 because I want to print from 1. And then what is my ending? I want to print till 10. So the condition is to print the number until it is less than 10 because the ending point is 10. And what do you mean by updation? Updation means since I'm starting from 1, what should be the next one? Update will say that now if you are 1, next time you should be 2, next time you should be 3, next time you should be 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is how our steps will get updated. Now let us get into and write an example. For example, if I want to print this one 10 times, so and I want to use while loop. So the first thing I need to initialize, I will say my loop will start from 1, and then I will write my condition while I is less than or equal to 10 because I want to repeat it 10 times, and then I need to use colon. So you know that since it is Python programming, we have whenever we are using while loop, when after ending the condition, I have to use this colon, and after that I need to use indentation. What do you mean by indentation? Indentation means that whenever we are writing this much space and the code we are writing with this much space inside while loop, they are inside body of while loop. And then after this one, I need to say plus equal to 1. What does it mean? It means the first time I is starting initializing with 1. Now it comes, it checks. 1 is less than 10, yes. It comes and print hello everyone. Next time I must be 2 because it want to print it 10 times. So because the first work is done, now it has to print the second time. So that's why this will be working. See, I could print hello everyone for 10 times. Now if you print it 100 times, just make it 100. If you want 1000, just make it 1000. If you want 10,000, if you want 100,000, 1 million, whatever it is, just change and give more number of zeros. That's it. It will do everything to you. So that's why loops are so useful a statement inside Python or any other programming language. Let's go to have a good understanding of while loop, or let's study a complete syntax of while loop. The syntax that just now we studied, it was a basic syntax of while loop. Now this is the complex syntax. Whenever we are using while loop, So inside while loop, we can have if condition, we can have break statement, we can have continue statement. And also another beauty of Python is this, that in while loop we can have else also. And one thing that you should remember, if you are a student who has already studied C language, Java language, in Java and C language, we do not have else with while loop. So you should know that this else is not belonging to if. This else is not belonging to this if also. This else is belonging to the while loop. So what does it mean? How this structure is going to be executed? Now let me go in depth and study from this point. Since we are not getting what is break, what is continue, and what is else, let me explain it here. This else, inside this else will be some code of line of code, and this will be executed when this break is not executed. So this else is against this break. If this break statement will be executed, then else will not be executed. If break will not be executed, then surely else will be executed. Or if I want to give it a formal definition for this else statement, I will say the code which is inside else will be executed if we have normal flow of the program. What do you mean by normal flow of the program? We have normal flow of program when break is not executed. If break is not executed, then we have normal flow. At that time, else will be executed. But if break is executed, we do not have normal flow of the program. So at that time, else will not be executed. Let's go in depth and give an example for continue. So what does it mean? What is continue statement? Continue is usually used to skip the can iteration. For example, if a person is asking me to print a number from 1 to 10, but not print 6. So print 1, print 2, 3, 4, 5, but not 6. So when you are reaching at 6, just escape it. How can I do? So I will just write, I'm initializing my number from 1. So I'm going to start printing the number from 1. Then I will say while, so this initialization, while I is less than or equal to 10, and then just I will say now I will say if I is equal to 6, just I will say I plus equal to 1, and then I will say continue. Why do I need to continue? What is the reason behind this? Because I've said if I do not print I as a 6, and after that I will say print I. So for example, and after printing I, make it I as a plus equal to 1, plus equal to 1. So what does it do? What we are doing here, we are saying that if I become 6, continue means what? Do not print 6 value. Let us go and check this one. See, it is printing 1 to 10, but without 6. So when I become equal to 6, it is continuing. What do you mean by continue? Continue means that after this one, whatever code that's available, please do not run it. Just escape it and go for the next, which is I is equal to 7, and go and print for the 7. That's why when we are using continue statement, continue means what? At this moment of time, just escape the remaining of code. Go for the next step. So this is the statement for continue. Now let's go for the break statement. We know that break statement is used to terminate the loop. So if I want to say, for example, print a number from 1 to 10, but if a number is equal to 6, break. So what does it mean? So let me just copy paste this code and use break statement and analyze it. What do you mean by this one? So now see, what do you mean by break? So we know that first I become 1. So I is less than 1, 10, yes. I is equal to 6, no. So it will print 1, and then I become 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once I be equal to 6, then it will break. Once it's breaking, it will not let you to go for the next iteration for I is equal to 7, for I is equal to 8, because it will terminate the loop. So let us run the program. See, it's just running from 1 to 5. When I become 6, then just break. Break means terminating the loop. And while continue means for this iteration, please escape and go for the next iteration. So this is the difference between break and continue. Now let's give a good example for the complete structure of while loop. We will give an example where we will have break statement, we will have else statement, and we will have while statement. For this one, I can give a good example. For example, we are making a game for the children, and we are asking a children to enter 5 even number. If he or she is able to enter 5 even number, Simon, after one after the other. So if after 5 times, if he or she is not failing, then we will say, congratulations, you passed the game. But if he or she is not able to, for example, after third time he or she will fail, then we have to say, you failed. Just try or retry the game. So this is an example that we will be giving for this while loop. So first we will ask the number from the user. We will say, for example, n is the number that he or she will enter that one. So we will say, so we will change that one to integer. We will say input, enter the number. So we will say enter the number. When he or she is entering the number, then we were saying that this must be repeated for 5 times. So let me initialize. When you were saying for 5 times means I is equal to 1. I must start, initialization is must start with 1. So then after that I will say while I is less than or equal to 5, because this must be repeated for 5 times. Why I less than or equal to 5, you do it this one. So what should we do? First you should ask user a number, enter a number. After or he or she is entering a number, what should you do? You should check whether the number is even or not. If the number is even, there is no issue. But if the number is odd, then she is failing or he is failing. So for example, that's why I will say, if the number that you have entered, if we do it modulus 2 and the remainder is equal to 1, means that a number is odd. So if the number is odd, this must print you failed, because you failed. And after that it must break, it must just come out of the loop, because he or she is not able. But see, if he or she is able to enter 5 times even number, means after 5 times he or she will enter even numbers, finally we will say else, we will print congratulations, you, for example, congratulations, you passed the game or whatever. You just will say congratulations. And one thing that I should not forget, that every time must update I1. So what it will do, it will ask the number. If he or she is able to add 5 numbers, then he will pass the game. So we will say I enter the number, I will say 12. The next one I will say 24. The next one I will say 46. The next one I will say 68. The next one I will say 90. See, after 5 times I could enter 5 even number, then I say congratulations. What does it mean? It means that break is not executed. I told you that if his break is not executed, then else will be executed. After 5 times, it could give me this message, congratulations. Now let's rerun this code and write it, for example, 12, 24. Next time I will give an odd number. See, I said you failed. And so you know that this is not executed. Why this is not executed? Because break statement is executed. Once break statement is executed, it terminates the loop, it terminates the game and say you failed. You must retry the game. So this is how the complete structure of while loop will work. Now let's go and discuss the last topic in while loop, which is infinite loop. Sometimes we are going to infinite loop. Infinite loop means a loop that it will never end. So sometimes we are forgetting the updation part. For example, I will say I is equal to 1. I want to print 1 to 10. Then I will say while I is less than or equal to 10. Then I will say print I. Print me I. See, what does it do? I is equal to 1. 1 is less than 10. Yes, it will print I. Next time we are not updating I. For next time I should be 2. If you are updating it, we should say I is I plus equal to 1. Means that I is equal to I plus 1. This is nothing but updation part. But if we are forgetting this one, I'm just commenting this one. Next time it will be 2. 2 is less than 10. Yes. 3, 5. It will print till 10. When it become 11, it will end, the loop will end. But now, since we are not updating, so we know that 1 is always less than 10. So the program will end till the end. So this is called infinite loop. See, it will print 1, 1, 1 until unless the kernel is down. So this was the end of the video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please comment and subscribe the channel.